Have you ever considered living in Mexico? What about Puerto Vallarta? I'm here today with someone who can tell you all about it. My name is Rashida Dow, and I am one of the co-founders of Exodus Summit. I'm excited to bring you our guest, but first I'm going to kick it over to my co-founder, Stephanie Perry.
That's me. I'm Stephanie Perry. Welcome. On this YouTube channel, we talk about career breaks and sabbaticals and moving abroad for Black women. If you're at all interested in that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn on notifications so you don't miss things. Okay, this is going to be a fun talk because I don't know anything about this place that Terry lives. Terry, hello, welcome. Introduce yourself.
Hey, I'm Terry Banks. I live in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. It's been a dream to move here since 2016. But even before that, I was planning to live abroad. First, it was Costa Rica. But we're here in PV now, very happy and frolicking and getting ready for our project, our construction project to be complete.
Okay, I want to start from the top.
Yes.
Yeah. I know Terry, so I'm going to ask her some questions, but I'm going to try to keep it like stranger friendly. So stranger friendly question number one. What brought you to PV? How did you end up in Puerto Vallarta?
I actually had a neighbor in Oakland that grew up in Guadalajara, and then he moved back to Mexico, moved to PV. My wife and I missed our friend. We came to visit, and we were like, what is this place here? So we just switched it up, and instead of moving to Costa Rica, we decided to move to PV.
What year was that?
2016. Yeah, April 2016. And by December 2016, we were like, we came back again because of the election. And it was like, oh, we usually go to Wisconsin for Christmas. And I was like, I can't go to that swing state right now. Absolutely not. So we came back to PV, and that really solidified that it wasn't just the margaritas in April. We really did enjoy being here, and decided to do something together with our friend. And
now,
yeah.
What about PV was like, oh yes, I could be here besides the margaritas?
I felt righter than I ever had. Just, there was a level of unstress that was different than a typical vacation. Like, to the point where I had to ask my friend, like, what is going on here? Can you explain to me this levity that I feel? And, you know, for me, the lack of levity in the States often is because of being Black, because of being a woman, because of being queer. And I felt none of that, none of it. It didn't matter if I was, you know, in the shops, whether the shops was, you know, a regular grocery store or a really expensive shop where tourists go, you know, things, no inappropriate following, you know, welcome, just kindness, just smiles, just a normalcy that I should have always existed everywhere. So it just felt right.
Puerto Vallarta, I think, so I've not been this far. Puerto Vallarta is kind of south, right? I've not been that far in Mexico.
South of Mazatlan, north of Acapulco.
Oh, I thought, okay, so I'm thinking you're closer to Oaxaca. Okay, girl, okay. So, whatever it is, I've never been that far south, but I think it has kind of I'm surprised to hear you say that, because I thought it had a reputation of being like a party place. Is that not right?
It is definitely, yes, you can definitely lose track of time.
Okay.
After the sun goes down. But it's also can be very relaxing. I continue to be amazed at how much is here for so many different people, with the nature, the nightlife, all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is there for you?
Yeah.
I haven't really figured out what there isn't here for me, but I will say that the thing that, for me, my friend's a gay guy, and the first trip down, met his friends, some of his friends, I mean, a mixed group of friends, but meeting his gay friends and then meeting more of their friends and then meeting my own friends that happen to be gay guys, it just feels like having lots of big brothers or little brothers. I mean, sometimes I forget how old I am, but little brothers more often. But already Mexico is a lot safer than people hear on the news.
Yes.
The PV in particular, for me, has another level of safety as a woman, because there's, at least in the neighborhood that I'm in, where the nightlife is, there are a lot of guys who do not wish me any harm.
Mm-hmm.
They are preoccupied with living their life. And I also feel if there was anything going down, would be there to help.
Okay.
So let's touch on real quick. You already mentioned your wife.
Mm-hmm.
You are an out and proud lesbian, as far as I know. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about being Black and queer in Puerto Vallarta. How did that experience differ from your experience in Oakland?
Oakland, I moved to Oakland after college,
Mm-hmm.
and that was just so great. I like to call Oakland Chocolate City West.
Oh, okay.
Because there is definitely that percentage of Black people, and San Francisco being where gay guys were. Oakland was a lot where the queer women were.
Okay.
So it was just a great place to be a young adult and growing up there. Not as a kid, but to growing up there, and almost setting the standard for what is important for me.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to level up from that, like, sure.
So Puerto Vallarta is a level up from Oakland for you?
I mean, I don't have to wear pants here. I can wear shorts all the time.
Wait.
I don't get cold. I'm dressed. I'm not naked.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to, you know.
When I say I'm not wearing pants,
I don't have to be cold.
But okay.
Long
Yes,
pants.
please.
Long pants.
I said, what is she doing down there? Okay.
I'm very informal.
Okay.
And it allows me to just relax and be.
Okay. So it's good community, good weather. These are the things that are like drawing you there. Yeah. You've got your big little brothers.
Yeah. But people, like the people in general. I mean, it's been great meeting a lot of my neighbors, other local folks. I mean, my Spanish is improving, and they are very patient.
Good.
Luckily. But it's interesting learning a language. I realize that you don't really have to be that embarrassed, because you don't even know what you said wrong. What are you ashamed of? You don't know what you said. If they forgave you for it, just try again. It's all right. It's gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. So I'm probably in these streets saying some things, but I'm trying.
Try. That's all you can do is try. And I think that they really appreciate that even if you don't know, you try. That's been my experience everywhere I go. Like, at least trying, right? No, it's very rare. I notice it when I'm in countries where trying isn't enough. I was in Turkey trying. They were like, no,
please don't do that.
We don't. No, but like everywhere I go in Mexico, people are like, okay, girl, we gonna listen to you. What you talking about? What you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, it's PV feels to me like when I was a kid, it's very community oriented. Mm-hmm. Like, folks look out for each other regardless of who you are. I mean, I'm happy that I'm an adult, because I don't think I would have been able to get away with as much here as a kid that I you know, well, I didn't really get away with much anyway, but my mom was good. But the things I did get away with, I think there's more eyes here.
Yeah. Really?
The aunts and uncles, it's tias and tias. They
And if you have a Black child, I'm sure they're a little bit more noticeable in that sense.
Oh,
of
yeah.
Like, you know whose child that is.
Exactly.
It's a limited number of people, right? Like, you JoJo's daughter? Yeah.
Actually, I feel that way now, except there's no one at home. I'm like, Well, there just last night there was a meet and greet, and there was at least 25 of us, and I could think to myself, oh, so and so is not here, so and so is not here, so and so is not here. Yeah.
So these are Black women who've come from the U.S.
Yes, Black folks, but yes.
Black people. Okay. Okay. So the group is that like the gang, the y'all's gang is that big. Yeah. That's nice. Okay.
And growing.
And growing.
Yes. Don't be surprised if you're walking down the street in PV and just get abducted, or get that one of those auntie like, come here, what you doing here?
Yes.
It's just love.
Yes. Yes. And you guys, I know that you're a community that hangs out often and does things in community. So can you talk a little bit about the community building in Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah. Puerto Vallarta has, part of the nightlife that I mentioned is also live music. And there are there's more and more variety of music here and more Black performers. So tonight, one of our boys is having a concert tonight.
Which one?
Will Walker.
Oh, I don't know him. You took me to see somebody else.
Oh, I was actually hanging out with him last night, and he'll be here tonight. That's Kevin Anthony.
If you go to Puerto Vallarta, Terry is going to be the one to be like, so on Tuesday at 9, this thing is happening. It's happening here. You should be there. I'll meet you there at 9:15. I'll have a table. And
she's the cruise. What is it called? The cruise director.
She is. Okay. When I go, she is my cruise director. She'll be like, these are the things that are happening at, and then brunch at this time, and date night on this day at this time. Don't forget. Don't show up late because you won't get a seat. Terry will cruise direct you if you show up. Make friends with Terry, I'm telling you.
Well, have you always been that person, Terry, or is this a new thing in a new environment?
I'm an introvert, and there's some stranger danger. It's Gen X. But I'm finding that being here, there's a lot less stranger danger, for sure, a lot less. And I don't have a lot of the guardedness that I felt was necessary in the US. I still get drained as an extrovert. As an introvert, but I like being outside more here. It's just very pleasant.
What is it that makes you like being outside more? Is it the weather? Is it the interactions? Okay.
Well, I can say that because of the time, that noise is not related to my project. That's all I got to say.
Okay.
That ain't me.
And we'll touch on your project in a minute. Yeah. So what is it that makes you like living outside?
It's visually pleasant, whether it's the natural art with the greenery, just the nature sounds. There's the ocean, there are rivers, there's murals, there's just art. It's the architecture is, it's hard to not see something beautiful.
Okay.
And you will have to try very hard being rude to not say good morning, good afternoon, good night to someone, because you're going to get talked to. And you're going to learn to love it, because that really is, I think, way more natural than thinking, what is wrong with that person if they're smiling at you or if they're happy? Like, there are things that we learned to become adults. That's BS.
Yeah.
And it just feels more pure, more just able to just be. And a lot of the head on a swivel.
Yeah.
Here, that's reserved more for the cobblestones than another human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Because the cobblestones will get you.
And it's funny living in Mexico, you sometimes don't realize like the small changes. Like I was in the US last week, and every time I got into an elevator, I was speaking to everybody in the elevator. And like I realized, oh no, baby, that's just you. Not everybody, like everybody else ain't doing that. But stepping into an elevator here in Mexico City and not addressing everyone there would be like, oh, she's from foreign. She's from foreign. She don't know.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like people get on and they're like, you know, good morning every time. It's a good morning, good afternoon. Like that acknowledgement that the other person exists and is human and is sharing the space with you is something that I really enjoy, right? Like even if I don't see a friend, right? In a day, I see a ton of friendly faces, right? A ton of people who like acknowledge my humanity. It's one of the things I love about being here, right? Yeah. No one's rude to me. And if they are, they're rude in Spanish. So I don't know.
I don't understand it. Yeah.
I understand all the nice things people say and all the compliments. But if there's anything else, I didn't get it. I don't know.
Well done.
Yes. Yes. So sometimes though, some places have a reputation of people moving in and not adapting to that niceness, right? Some places people expat to, immigrate to, move into, and especially Americans and Canadians and Europeans come in and stay so isolated that they never take on those ways of people, right? The way that people do things there.
Yeah.
But in Mexico, so Rashida, if y'all don't know, Rashida also lives in Mexico. Rashida lives in Mexico City. But in Mexico, it's a place where you can come and you can be a part of the culture. You can be a part of the community. And you don't have to carry the way that we do things in the US with you into Mexico. You can adopt that as well.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's very beneficial.
Yeah.
Oh, and before I forget, there is a growing lesbian population too. Okay. Yes.
And is that because?
Yes.
Okay. Is that because Puerto Vallarta or Mexico in general is more gay friendly, queer friendly, or is it for some other reason?
It's likely that. I mean, just like everyone else who has made some decisions to make change some things about their future, Mexico has that draw, and it definitely has that draw for folks like me too.
Okay, I like that you touched on it, the growing lesbian population, because before I came to Puerto Vallarta, I heard all the time how like gay friendly it was and how like accepting it was. And I'm not saying that's not true, but when I got there the first time, I was like, oh, by gay, they mean white men. Like,
so here's the thing. And you will find this, I'm not going to say worldwide, but I know in the US and a little bit here, lesbians just don't go out as much for a variety of reasons. Some financial, some just different responsibilities, whatever it is. So we're here, but we're here in the same way we are in the US.
Okay.
Not in the streets all the time.
Okay. Because the men are outside. They are in the romantic zone outside.
You know what? I watched your it was one segment that you did, Rashida, and you were talking about the gay guys and the age difference. And I'm not going to say that there's not that, but oftentimes it is not what you think you're seeing. Just like in Mexico City, there's money. There's quite a few young nationals with money that choose to be in Vallarta, and because of the Mexican culture doesn't throw away their elders.
Yes.
Okay.
There will be a younger national guy with an older anybody guy, maybe white guy, because they want to hang around them kids.
Okay.
It's just this culture. They just don't throw away their elders. And it's that European disdain for age and aging that I think breaks down some here.
Okay.
It's nice to see too, in the sense that like you see a lot of like multi-generational housing and things like
Yes.
that, because
Yeah.
people really like the it's not just like a respecting your elders, it's really like caring about them.
Honor, loving, like knowing that they're necessary. And it just, yeah.
Okay. I've never thought about dating like that though. You know, like I've never thought about relationships in terms of we choose to be with people young, our age, because we don't like old people, right? Older people.
Yeah, there are people who date younger because they think it makes them younger. There's that. And then there are the young people like, I feel
it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you moved to Puerto Vallarta after a couple visits and loving it.
Yeah.
What steps are you taking right now to even like more ingrain yourselves in the community? Yeah. What's happening?
So, like I said, in 2016, we decided, in December 2016, December 2017, we got a WhatsApp, a friend saying, found a lot. And I'm like, oh, that's when the bubble got started. I was like, okay, not hungover, not margaritas, this is real. And that's actually what we're building on now. And Rashida, when you were here year and a half ago, I think, and you missed out on your visit.
Was that when it flooded?
Oh no, your visit out to the place that I was staying out where Sunday. Okay. That's actually where we were planning to build first, because we got some lots out there because it's a little quieter. It's kind of essentially the old folks' home. So we actually started building here in town, not out in the country, in town in last spring. And that happened because the super peso, and we just needed to make some different decisions. And so we decided we're going to build the vacation places later, because this was going to be, everything changed with inflation and the super peso. So we decided to build vacation places first, and a unit for me and my wife, and a unit for them.
Okay.
So it's kind of our co-living, but they already have a place. So it's, they either might rent it out or it'll be their crash pad.
So explain to people who don't know this yet. Yeah. So you're building a
9-unit boutique hotel.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's interesting because when I was in high school, I wanted to be an architect, but I didn't know what any of the requirements were. I just thought buildings were cool.
Yeah.
And I had a math teacher that wasn't that good. So there was some of that math trauma. And then when I was looking at majors and I found out, there's a lot of math in architecture, I'm like, nope, not going to do it. Not. And what's cool about this is that I had input. I get to be, involved in the project. It's my baby. But I don't have to worry about the math.
Good.
The building math.
Now,
so,
what's your goal for this project?
So originally it was, to Golden Girls with her friends. And then we were each going to have, it was going to be our place in the guest house. It's kind of grown since then. Because we've grown since then. So it's interesting having a plan to watch it evolve and being nervous, but then also like getting really used to it at the same time. It's like, oh yeah, of course this makes sense. Why didn't we think of this before? Right. Oh my gosh, ask again. I'm sorry, Rashida.
What's your plan? What's your goal?
So knowing eventually this was going to happen, and then after going to Cancun and being in 2022 at the in-person Exodus, the Exodus meetup, and meeting everyone, I was like, when we built this place, I wanted to be group friendly.
Okay.
I want for whether someone's on a vacation or bopping around, scouting trip, retreat host, just, come hang out with me, have a soft place to land, just kind of a home away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's the plan. I mean, it's yeah.
Okay. So are we talking relocation tours, or are we talking about it's just the hotel? I don't mean just, but
Yeah. So, like Rashida mentioned earlier, kind of know my way around a little bit. Maybe once things get settled or see how it goes. I've been thinking about some concierge something, but I don't know exactly what that looks like. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's in there. Potentially relocation.
Okay. Listen, Rashida and I have built a business or businesses on, let's see what people are asking for and then do that, right? We don't have to tie ourselves to any particular thing in the very beginning. See if people are asking for something and then decide if we want to do that. So that's good. Okay. I just was asking if that's a thing.
Even if you do it like a 2022 in-person event, you can decide at any point that you don't want to do it and not do it again. By the way, that feels so long ago, but when you said 2022, I was like
what?
Cancun event 2022. I was like, oh, that wasn't with us because we weren't there in 2022. It feels like that was 14 years ago.
It does. It was.
Time has been flying.
Time is funny.
Yes.
Yeah. So you hung out with the Exodus Summit Squad in Cancun. Mm-hmm. There were about 100 of us, and you saw that this group travel, people like it.
Yeah.
We're in what they call what are we calling it? A loneliness epidemic. Right?
Absolutely.
And people really like to be together. People really are enjoying spending time together in a group with people that even if they don't know them yet, they have some commonality, something that they think they're going to like about them.
Yeah, even together alone. So one of the things that I've been kicking around for myself is, what would it be like to maybe people that like hiking, mm-hmm. and okay, hikers come this week, go on a group hike, mm-hmm. don't be bothered with anybody, do what you want to do, but you'll have someone that is into that, or mm-hmm. Like maybe a turn up, turn down, just come be lazy or enjoy the nightlife.
Okay.
Just whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. That's wonderful. So what I'm hearing is that what I was aiming at is that we get the credit.
Oh, absolutely.
Do we get to stay for free?
Don't say it on the internet. You don't mean it.
I had to try. Okay,
so she's a lawyer, right? She will remember.
At 1:37, Harry Banks said, here's the video. Okay, so anyway, 10 years from now, mm-hmm. do you still see yourself in Puerto Vallarta?
Yes. So one of the things that I haven't done a lot of is travel, because we've been saving up to not be broke, destitute elders for so long that we haven't spent a lot of time traveling.
Okay.
But once our place is done and we're settled and we're done doing our tourist thing and nesting, we're hitting these streets, hitting these international streets. Yeah.
Okay. But home base, you still think will be Puerto Vallarta?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So besides traveling, 10 years from now, when you're in Puerto Vallarta, do you have any idea of what you want your life to look like?
You know, a nice thing about Puerto Vallarta is that there is, it's a very vibrant place, and there's seniors here that have opted not to pay attention to the numbers in their age. So I have lots of great role models for keep doing what you're doing.
Okay.
And I definitely want to have a better grasp of the language by then, and to be able to travel around more of Mexico. I want to be able to use the language and not just be a better neighbor here, but wherever I go. I want to be able to really be able to understand the nuances and honestly get some of the jokes. Because I have friends that will, where I'm the only English speaker, and they will be cracking up, and then one will like tell me like it's still funny, but it's
not that funny, right?
It's not real time. Right?
Yeah. Being the only, I've been to a few events where I'm the only English speaker, and that is work. I come home exhausted, like, woo, my brain was in overdrive trying to figure out what's going on here. What y'all? Because you get a lot of it, but still you got to be like, I don't think I got the entire. Because also like some of it is what you hear, and some of it is the context, or like the slang, the local slang you might not know, or joke about a 90s telenovela that you will never
never.
Right. And so there's this constant learning process that if you're curious is so amazing. It's so amazing to be in a place where like everything's brand new. Like I can walk and I can talk, right? But like pretty much everything else is new to me.
Well, you can walk. Maybe you can't even talk.
Maybe
who are you talking to? Talk to your Google Translate.
Working, but are they understanding it? Probably not.
Yeah, so in 10 years, you want to be speaking more Spanish. You want to be closer to being an active senior. You won't be a senior in 10 years, but you'll be getting there. Right? We'll be getting there.
What's senior to you?
70?
Okay.
65. Most people would say 65, but I think 65 is still middle age because we're going to live a lot longer.
Okay, I'm 52 now.
Okay, so close on your way to being an active senior.
We'll definitely be on my way. Active senior.
Yeah, travel more, be a better neighbor.
I've been thinking about aging, kind of obsessed with it for a long time, like in a good way, in a healthy way. Like, how can I have more than a decent, but thrive as an elder?
Yes.
And creating a blue zone, even if it's not the typical markers, but my own blue zone. Like, what would that be like? And having a place where I can heal, grow, and play.
Okay.
Like I really haven't found much that doesn't fit into one of those three categories.
Okay.
And I think that Puerto Vallarta is a fantastic place to do that.
Good. For people who are watching who maybe are in, let's say they're in Oakland, right? They're in Oakland. What is the difference? So heal, if your goals, right? If your plans for your future are to heal, grow, and play, why should someone who's in the Bay Area consider going to a different place to make these things more possible, more likely?
Well, for the healing, just even the basic things, the food is a lot healthier. This is actually, I think, the cleanest air that I've breathed my entire life. I grew up in Pittsburgh, steel town. And then where I lived in Oakland, by the port and freeways. So that was, I have more endurance than I have in forever. And all I do is walk.
Okay.
Yeah, even like walking up a hill is easy compared to what it was like when I first came and my lungs were the way they were. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to. And now I seek out stairs to walk up.
Okay, look at you.
I mean, the views are great up the stairs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know, I've had to get not like a long-term prescription, but get a prescription for something, and the cost is so shocking.
Yeah.
Of how much things don't need to be priced. They're priced for humanity, not for profit. Mm-hmm. And the healthcare providers are kind. I had to get a vitamin B shot, and it's for my very first one. And the doctor asked me if I wanted to use. Now I'm afraid of needles, but I'm like, I'd rather have this than the mosquito bites. So I was trying the vitamin B, and he asked me if I wanted to use the stuff for so it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
And I low-key lost my shit. I was like, in a healthcare environment, and someone's like not just checking boxes, but taking the time to really make sure that I'm going to be okay. And this was just the doctor next door to the pharmacy. Mm-hmm. I mean, go there regularly. It's wow.
Yeah.
Just the basics are stellar.
Yeah.
And not having the hustle and the bustle. I mean, it's vibrant here.
Yeah.
But people take the time to acknowledge your humanity. And, you know, it's not, and I'm not just talking about people on vacation or expats or immigrants. I consider myself more of an immigrant than an expat. Like for instance, like in the restaurants or the bars, you get to know them.
Yeah.
And it's almost like seriously going hanging out in their living room, like going over their house. But it doesn't feel transactional.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm exchanging some pesos for a thing, but it doesn't feel like that.
I had a minor procedure and I had to put me to sleep. And I've had it multiple times in the US. And I remember the nurse holding my hand and like holding my hand as I go to sleep with like hand on my forehead, one hand on my forehead, holding my hand and like speaking to me in Spanish. But baby, the man already gave me the juice. So I don't know. I can barely get the Spanish when I'm like fully alert. The man gave me the juice. I'm going to sleep. But I just remember her holding my hand. And like I said, I've had this procedure multiple times and no one's ever held my hand while I'm going to sleep. I said, oh, listen, with the gray hair, Abuela is here saying like, I got you. And I like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would pay more for this, but I'm paying less. Okay. I said, I don't know what these doctors are doing, but she got me.
You're good. You're good.
She's not going to let nothing happen to me. Okay, sis. Thank you.
The care in healthcare is number one reason to get out of the United States. Get out of the United States. Get you some care in your healthcare.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say that the individuals, all the individuals that are working healthcare are in the U.S. are evil.
No,
it's not that. They are exhausted.
Yes.
They have their own worries at home that are exacerbated by the structures in the U.S. They come to work, want to give. They're human too.
Yeah.
If they don't have it to give, what are they going to give?
And it's a hard job. It's a hard job. A lot of them are underpaid. They got people's lives in their hands and they're getting, you know, not peanuts, but not enough to do the work. And because we're at our worst, we're hoping they're going to be at their best. But like you said, a lot of times they don't have it to give. They're like, girl, I'm here.
Yeah. Also, as a person who's worked in some hospitals, let me say this. Also, there are industries in the United States that are really appealing to a certain type of person who wants to be more of who wants to do more policing of people than care for people. And that That includes the healthcare system in the US. It attracts people who want to do some policing and not necessarily some care. Whereas you can go to a place where the people who are working in the healthcare system are doing it because they're into care. Just like people in the hospitality industry are there because they like hospitality. They want to host people. Whereas in the US, it's about the dollars. It's about the profit. There is such a thing as getting better care in some places. And sometimes it's sincerely because they're better people and there are better people. And
they're better suited for the job. They're better suited for that particular job.
The culture has been set up to allow them to stay who they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So Terry, you guys are building this hotel in Puerto Vallarta. Is it because you're independently wealthy? Is it because you inherited a boatload of cash?
I am a financial coach. Yes. And I get high on my own supply. What I was able to do was basically what I share with my clients.
Yes.
You know, this basically dream inspired financial coaching. When I got to a point where I realized, oh, I understand some things now that I didn't understand before, and these things can help people. That's when I decided to become a financial coach. I can send you to that website if someone is interested. I really want to help Black women who are interested, and people that I vibe with, that are interested in investing, or even buying their first home, but want to be able to see that as an investment. Mm-hmm. Because it can be the same transaction, but how you look at it, and if it's part of a bigger goal, mm-hmm. the way there are systems that can be manipulated to help you in whichever way, your goal is. So someone is interested in financial coaching, I can give you that.
How would they reach you if you're interested in your financial coaching?
So my website is bankonitfc.com.
In the description below.
Yeah, it'll be in the description below.
It'll be in the description below. And you also have a YouTube channel where you talk about your experiences in Puerto Vallarta?
Yes.
Tell us more.
So my YouTube channel is brand new. At this moment, I have one video. I will have more.
Yes.
And it will basically talking about my being here in PV, and also sharing progress on the project.
I think there are a lot of people who'd be interested in building in Puerto Vallarta, so I know that you have a lot of information that could be helpful.
Yes, have that as well. And meeting a variety of people, and interestingly enough, some folks in the real estate industry as well.
All right. We haven't talked about this yet, but you are part of the Exodus Summit family.
Yes.
Have you attended a summit?
I attended 2.
Okay.
I missed the first one. I didn't know about the first one.
Okay. Have you attended them in a way in such that we can claim credit for your move abroad?
It's okay.
Credit. Well, no, it's a timing issue. You can take credit for more of the folks that I met that I would not have met the time I met them.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay, we'll take that. We'll take that.
And they are abroad. Some of them are my neighbors.
Okay. We are getting ready for the fifth annual the 5th annual Exodus Summit. We're very excited about it. It's happening online. It's for Black women and families, happening October 11th through 14th of this year, 2024. If you're watching this after October 11th through 14th, you can watch a replay. We're excited about it. But Terry, because you've attended before, I want you to tell the people why they should come to Exodus Summit.
Yeah.
For me, I was already on my way out. Mm-hmm. And so attending the summit for me was different than what a lot of people are going in for. And I was so proud and inspired by the quality of the speakers, the breadth of the speakers, like what they knew, and that they were not just talking about something, they're really sharing very specifically how it works for them and how you could do something. It wasn't your typical like workshop or summit, or where it's just it's not just a commercial for people. It's real. It's real, and it really is a community. It's in some ways it's like a family reunion, because there's going to be so many of us that have met in a variety of ways, whether it's in person, at smaller meetups or official meetups, or just getting to know each other through other things. If you are having issues because you want to share, that you want to go abroad in whatever capacity, and you have gotten pushback, where your dreams are getting demeaned by people who they're not safe with, get yourself to Exodus Summit and find your people.
I believe that's what we're going to put on our ad right there.
That's right.
That was it. That said it all. Thank you, Sherry, for sharing that information with you. I'm going to kick it over to Stephanie, who is our official
closer outer.
I was going to say everythinger. She's got the words. I'm vibes. She's words. Before we close it out, before I kick it to her, I want to remind you that tell you that in the description, there's a quiz. Mm-hmm. And now Stephanie's going to tell you about the quiz.
Yes. So maybe you've heard this conversation about Puerto Vallarta and you're like, I think that might be a nice place to go. There are some other really nice places to go. There's some other nice places where you could feel the things that Terry is feeling in her life. It might be Puerto Vallarta, but it might be someplace entirely different. How do you know where to start, right? How do you know how to start researching some places? We have a quiz for you. We have a quiz where you're going to answer some questions and we're going to direct you to a place or places to get started on your research. Just like Terry did, you're going to check it out. You're going to go to some places, see if you like some places. You're going to get into community with people online before you even go and see what the vibe is and see what the people there are like. But we do have a quiz where you're going to get a good jumping off point, right? A good place to start thinking about where to go. That link is in the description of this video, as well as the link to getting coaching with Terry and the link to Exodus Summit 2024. Go to the description. There's good stuff there for you. Okay.
Thank you for being here with us today, Terry. We really appreciate you enlightening us and our audience about what life is like in Puerto Vallarta. There are so many different communities in Puerto Vallarta, but if it's a city you're considering, I really think you should check it out. Go online, find Facebook groups, find other communities of people who are living there. Join the Exodus Summit Facebook group, because we've got a ton of women living there who love it and can help you out. So no matter where you're going in the world, come to us, the Exodus Summit Facebook group. And on that, I think it's time to say goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.